sponsored by the U.S. Embassy. I've been traveling around Cambodia for the past 2 weeks, working with local teachers on organizing their ed camps. Have any of you been to the ed camp in Siem Reap or Kampong or elsewhere? Ed camp? Yeah, great. Okay.
Tempat.
So, and also talking a little bit about coaching and facilitating. I've been to Siem Reap, Kampot, Battambang,
Muốn thấy ngay
Kampong
dù
Cham,
mà
and
từ
now
từ
my
phía
last day
bạn
in Phnom Penh.
con phía
I actually lived in Cambodia for 2 years previous to this. Yeah, in Siem Reap
ở đó con
from 2016 to 2018. So I've only been gone about a year. So it's so nice to come back and reacquaint myself with rainy season. So today we're going to talk and practice and learn a few things about coaching and the coach approach to observations and feedback. And what I'd like you to do first is to think for a few minutes. And I have an entry ticket. So we're going to sort of pass these along, one each. Yeah, we just kind of pass these along.
pass away.
Thank you. And we can pass them along this side, engage and back, and then we'll pass these along. Thank you. So in the top block, you see, what do you already know? There's 3 things that you already know about coaching, observations, feedback. 3 things that you already know. Something that you've practiced, something that you've heard about. And then, in the bottom square, something that you'd like to learn today. And hopefully we'll be able to cover a couple of the things that we learned today, that you want to learn today. So I'll just give you about 5 minutes to think for a minute and then fill that out for me. And then I'll collect them. Does everybody have one? Okay, I'm just sort of perusing these. I've got some interesting things that you already know about. Here's an interesting setting expectations for the observation session first. And, inspection, that sounds a little scary, but I think I know what you mean. And positive feedback, yeah, that's something we'll talk about too. Do you know about sandwiching?
Yes.
So, who can explain sandwiching?
Sandwiches.
Yeah, it's on bread. So, let's say, let's say this is my sandwich. The papers are the bread. Yes. And then here's in the middle. So in feedback, what does the bread represent? Good points. Yeah. So in order to receive constructive criticism, we need to receive some positive feedback to sandwich around it. So that's part of that positive feedback. Oh, nice, okay. I see at least 3 people have mentioned pop-in, which is a term I haven't heard, and since I'm not a fan of the pop-in visit, how do you feel when somebody pops in to see you? Not happy, right? Not happy. It's better when you're prepared. Right, yeah. But, is that part of your requirements that you do pop-in visits? Or that you have pop-in visits? You're required to do pop-in visits?
Yes.
Wow. Only pop-in visits?
No.
Okay, great, okay. Well, then maybe you can educate me later on how you handle the pop-in visits. So, oh, here's an interesting one. Teacher supervision is the way that we supervise, coach, guide, or assist the teacher. Yeah, so it's all about, there's 2 kinds of feedback, right, in observations. One is this kind, regarding their teaching. So you want to help improve them. And does anyone know what that's called? Starts with an F. What kind of supervision or what kind of feedback is it? Or assessment? What kind of assessment is it? Formative. Because we want to help form the teacher, right? Help assist and guide the teacher to become a better teacher. And the other kind of feedback or assessment is summative, where it's just, okay, there you go. You pass or you don't pass. So it's not really encouraging. Here we go, pop in again. Okay, anything else you want to talk about today before we get started? I'm going to talk about a concept that might be new to you, although you know all of the parts of it. You might not be acquainted with the specific packaging I'm going to put it in, but anything specific you want to start out with, ask me any questions to see if we're going to cover or something you want to make sure that we do. I'll look at these while you're doing your next activity. This is the largest group that, except for the Ed Camp, but this is the largest group that I've had. I just counted you. It's like there was 30, 40. How many teachers are here? 40 something? I think I counted on, I thought there was going to be 34, but there's more like 40, 44. Around 50. Wow, that's a big group. Yeah.
Có được làm chưa, được khai chưa?
this can't be that far away from me, huh? You have to move in closer, right? So how many are supervisors, not just observers, but supervisors? Everybody is a supervisor and observer? I just wanted to be sure, because some places, you just do peer observations. And I want to know, how observations and feedback fit into supervision. I saw one person answer it on the entry ticket, but how are observations and feedback a part of supervision? Can you be a supervisor without observations and feedback? No, maybe you could, but I don't know how, right? Yeah. So what makes observations and feedback an important part of supervision? Why are they an important part of supervision? Yeah, so you can help them improve their teaching and learning. Help them become better teachers, and in turn, their students become better learners. And what do you look for in an observation? When you go in to observe somebody, what do you look for? Okay, everybody's talking at once, which is good, but but maybe one at a time so I can hear better.
To define the gaps of teachings and learning environment.
So you want to be sure that they're following the steps.
Not like that, but just we want to check out the key objectives on the lesson for today, and how the teachers achieve the objectives for lesson today.
Okay, yeah. Check out the objectives for the day, and we have a little activity about that, and how the teachers achieved the objective. Yeah. Anything else you look for in an observation?
We want to see the thing that the teacher do well.
Yes.
And the thing that teacher should improve.
See the things that the teacher does well and how they can improve.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The area that we can have the teacher.
Find an area where you can help the teacher. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we'll be talking about in the coaching part of the session. Okay. I'm going to give you all some papers. Let's do maybe blue on this side of the room. I hope there's an equal amount, but you guys have an equal amount. Yeah, blue, yellow, pink. Yeah. I don't know how many there are. We need an equal number of blues and pinks and yellows.
Muy piña, muy piña.
Okay, if there are extra blues,
Black.
I need the exact same number of blues, pinks, and yellows.
You are my expert in home team. Second team. Yeah. We have the first one and the one here. So can you call team on key term? Key term. Second one. Mà gì cũng sẽ mấy expecting bé gì từ khi là biết gì mà for 1 to 3 1 to 3 Mọi người phải nhớ là trên whole team. Yeah. No, whole team.
Statue.
Okay, we have about the same number now.
We are pink team. English. Sport team. Pink team. Sport team. Pink team.
Okay, so this is a jigsaw reading with 3 different categories of qualities of the development of something we're calling the teacher self. Alright, so I know that my personality is different when I'm with my friends than what it is when I'm with my students. And what it is when I'm with my students is my teacher self. And there's 3 different categories of qualities. And each color paper represents one of those categories. So with your partners, so maybe 3 or 4 people together with the same color, take about 5 minutes to discuss the qualities in your category and come up with some examples. Because later you're going to find partners. If you're yellow, you're going to go with the blue and the pink and talk together and explain your paper. So I want to be sure that you just don't read it first. So talk about it with some people in your row. So I'll give you 5 minutes to read it and come up with examples. Be sure to come up with examples.
Vô lại. Nó ra nó dương check luôn này. Đó, làm gì?
Dia ada je nasi kau jual muih-muih.
Ini dia je.
Jual muih-muih. Kami mau sampai à?
Tí là môi nói một.
As you saw, when you were discussing whatever qualities were on your paper, each paper listed some qualities of a good teacher. And that overall good teacher is something we're calling the teacher self. So you see that across the top of your handout, says the teacher self. So your teacher self is different from your personal self, or your parent self, or your friend self. You have different personalities depending on what you're doing. So we want to help our teachers and ourselves develop a teacher self. And we've divided some of those qualities, maybe you have more qualities, into 3 categories. And I put them on different colors of paper. One is, can the teacher command the classroom? Can they be in charge without being a crazy person? One is checking learning. And one is using authentic language and genuine interaction. So it's our job as observers to see how our teachers are growing into these qualities to develop teacher selves. So eventually you will get this handout with all 3 categories. But for now, I'd like you to find people with different colored papers. So maybe you'll have to stand or move to another corner. So I have one blue, one yellow, and one pink is a group. One blue, one yellow, one pink. One blue, one yellow, one pink. One blue, one yellow, one pink. So there was a question on the second one, work the classroom. So that doesn't mean work in the classroom. It's a particular, has anyone heard this expression in English? Maybe if you've been to the U.S. and took part in some business meetings or anything.
So,
So to work the